Hands together, Martin Elsass.
That's okay. My name is Martin Elsass, and I am the Libertarian candidate for the Ohio 6th District, currently being kept warm by Charlie Wilson. You can't hear me? More? Here? Excellent. Now, first thing you should know about me is I have absolutely no political experience, nor do I have any political aspirations. I can only get it so close, Greg. Thank you. So why am I running? The fact is, I'm tired. I'm tired, I'm fed up, and like many of you, I'm angry.
You can do that. Don't throw it, you can do that.
I've spent most of the last couple years screaming at my television. I've been calling my congressman, sending emails, writing letters. Nothing. I'm tired of being the only person who hears my voice. Except Greg. You can hear me, right?
Charlie Wilson, I'll write you back and tell you don't understand.
I live here in Columbiana County. Just right up 164 there is where I'm from. I went to Crestview High School. And some of you may be from the area. You know Crestview High School, back when I went there, was located smack dab in the middle of a cow pasture. It's completely, easily overlooked. Much is the same of the rest of the 6th District when it comes to Washington. We're often overlooked. And I'm tired of being overlooked. And I know I'm not alone. Look around, folks. I'm not alone. Now, when I was trying to come up with what I wanted to say today, I decided I really didn't want to do the typical campaign thing. I just don't think this is the forum for campaigning.
Don't do that.
But then I thought, well, am I going to talk about taxes? What do I say to the Tax Day Tea Party about taxes? What haven't you heard? What haven't you thought? What hasn't already been said to you?
Touch me, you shake the camera, so try not to, okay?
So I started looking for some quotes. Thought, well, maybe I'll find some inspiration from someone who said something before. And I was surprised at just how many quotes there are regarding taxes. But I kept coming back to the one that I know we're all familiar with. Is this on? The one I know we're all familiar with. Give unto Caesar. The thing that struck me about that quote wasn't so much the answer of give unto Caesar what is Caesar's or what Caesar requires, but it was the question. The question being asked is the same question we're asking today. What do I have to give? What do I have? How much is enough? And it kind of struck me that that question is as old as recorded history. Though it's considerably worse today, it's not new. It's not that this current administration's a little bit more clever than the last one and they figured out how to do fees and fines instead of calling it taxes. It's not that the last administration came up with ways of creating new bills for this administration to inherit. And it's not even the single issue which set this country on a pathway towards independence. It's as old as It's as old as Caesar. It's as old as the beginning of time. Now, as I said, it is considerably worse today than ever in our history, and it applies at every level of government. You've got federal taxes, state taxes, city, township, and village taxes, school taxes, levies, police and fire taxes, tolls, fees, fines. I woke up this morning, sucked in a deep breath, and just as I was about to exhale, I went, because we have CO2 tax meters coming. We've got property taxes, taxes at the gas pump. We're going to have taxes for rationed health care, a death tax, a progressive tax, a flat tax, a fair tax, a VAT tax, cap and tax. Does it ever end? If we continue on the path which we have been on, bouncing from Democrat, Republican, Republican to Democrat, the answer is no, it doesn't end. I just heard an analogy about 5 minutes ago. A gentleman was standing back here. It's kind of like a car going downhill and the brakes work sometimes.
That's a bus.
You vote one party in, the car goes a little slower. Then all of a sudden they give out, and when you vote the other party in, you're going really fast again. And that's where we're at. I was really surprised. I was paying attention during this final health care run-up. We had one party on the television giving commentary, giving speeches, giving all their little wordplay, and talking about how the other party is the party of no. They're obstructionists. They're the opposition. And in retort, the other party would say, well, if we would just take the bill back, if we could just break it down into pieces, we'll pass it part by part. And the American people said, yeah, that's a great idea. Let's pass it part by part. Because the assumption was that the really, really horrible parts would be left out. And only the less horrible parts maybe get through. But that's not what they said. They said, take the whole bill, divide it into pieces, and then we can be on board with you too and pass the whole thing. Ladies and gentlemen, that's not opposition. That's the other side of the same coin. I'm not alone. I don't pretend to know exactly how certain legislation gets passed, how you get a line in a bill. You learn those things. But I do know how to say no and mean it. Now, I said I wasn't going to campaign. I'm not. But I am going to leave you with a couple challenges. The first one I just outlined. Pay attention to the words. It's easy to say, I'm against that the way it looks. But what are they not saying? If they're against the way it appears, or they're for the way it appears, what's the rest of the sentence? Okay, the second challenge is a lot more fun. I have a little table set up over here. Smallest political quiz. It's 10 questions. If you come over to the booth, you take the test. It kind of give you an idea where you fall on the political spectrum, because I hear applause for things that are being said, and I think that there is still a mentality of only a Democrat or a Republican can win in an election. I beg to differ. Because if America votes, if you vote, you win. But for the first time in the history of the state of Ohio, we actually have a choice. You've got at least 5 candidates running for the one-party system, and a couple candidates running representing you. So come on over, take the test, figure out where you fall on the political spectrum, and I'll bet you're surprised. And I thank you for letting me speak today.